This lesson shows you 3 different ways to find change. For the first example, let's say that you are buying something that costs a total of $4.35. You give the clerk $5. How much change do you get back? And obviously, if you are giving the clerk $5 and your item only costs $4.35, you should get some money back. The first method to finding change is what I call the pool method. In this way, you will draw the smaller amount of money on the left, which is $4.35, that's how much your item costs. And on the right side of the pool is what you're paying with, $5. And finding the change is actually finding the difference between these two money amounts. So what is the difference between $5 and $4.35? In this method, you can draw coins. In this case, I will drag them into the pool. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at $4.35, and we're going to try to count our way up to $5 with money. So the first thing we can add to $4.35 would be a nickel. Okay, and that nickel gets us to $4.40. Because $4.35 plus 5 gets us to $4.40. The next thing I would want to put in there is a dime, because that gets us to $4.50. So now we're at $4.50, and there's a really quick way to get up to $5, and that's 2 quarters. So this would be $4.75, and this is $5. So now what we've done is we've figured out the difference between $4.35 and $5 by putting coins in the middle. Now all we need to do is add up the coins. So 2 quarters equals 50 cents, plus a dime is 60, and a nickel is 65 cents. So the change we get back should be 65 cents from the clerk. Another way to solve this is to use the counting up method. This is the same concept as the pool, but we're just using numbers and not pictures. So we start with the lower number, which is $4.35, and now we just need to count up to get to $5. And what I would add first would be the nickel, and that gets me to $4.40. And I want to circle this because that's everything I'm adding is what I'm getting back in change. This is how I'm finding the difference between $4.35 and $5. So first I go up a nickel and get to $4.40. Then I can go up a dime and get to $4.50. And now once I'm at $4.50, it's very easy to get to $5 because I just add 50 cents. Now I just check everything I've circled and added to $4.35. 50 cents plus 10 cents plus 5 cents is 65 cents. So again, the change I'm getting back is 65 cents. Now the third method is the subtraction method, because to find the difference between two numbers, we subtract. Just like to find the difference between 10 and 6, how far apart are 10 and 6? Well, they're 4, and we can subtract to find the difference. So the same thing is what we'll do with the money. This is a little trickier if you haven't learned how to subtract yet by trading. But if you do know, we can try it here. The first thing we need to do is look at the pennies place. So that says 0 minus 5. Well, if we have 0 pennies and we want to take 5 away, we can't do that. So we look over to the dimes to see, can we trade any dimes to get pennies? And we don't have any. So we're going to have to trade $1. We take one of those dollars away, and we can trade $1 for 10 dimes. So we bring that over to the dimes place. So $4 and 10 dimes. Now I can take away one of those dimes. So now I have 9 left, and I can trade that 1 dime for 10 pennies. Now I can take 10 pennies minus 5 pennies equals 5 pennies. Now I move to the dimes place, which says 9 dimes minus 3 dimes equals 6 dimes. And now I have $4 minus $4 equals $0.65. So either of those three ways that we solve, we get the change is 65 cents. Now you try it. You can check your answers after you're done. You're buying a toy that costs $7.29. How much change will you receive if you pay with $8? Since you paid with more than what the toy cost, you should get some change back. So why don't you try solving this using the pool method? So push pause in the video right now and you try it, and then you can check and see if your answer is the same as mine. Push pause now. Okay, now that you've pushed play again, I'm going to do it for you and you see if you got the same answer. So first we should draw a pool. The lower amount of money, what our toy cost, is $7.29. We are paying with $8. So we're going to try to get up to $8 over here. So the first coin I would add would be a penny, because that's going to get me to $7.30. Next, I might add a dime because I'm at $7.30, and this will get me to $7.40. Next, I would add another dime. That gets me to $7.50. Now that I'm at $7.50, it's very easy to get to $8 because all I need is 50 cents, which is 2 quarters. So that gets me to $7.75 and then $8. Now all I need to do is count up the money that's in the pool because that is the difference between $7.29 and $8. So to count this, I would count the quarters first. 25, 50, 60, 70, 71. 71 cents is the change I get back when I buy that toy. Now why don't you try doing that using the counting up method? So let's write the lower amount, $7.29. Now you push pause and try this on your own using the counting up method. Okay, if you've already tried it, let's see if you got it right. So we're going to count up to try to get to $8. So first, from $7.29, I like to add a penny because that gets me to the next 10, which is $7.30. Now at $7.30, I can just count by tens to get up to $8. So $7.30, I go 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1. That's 70 cents. So I can do that step all at once because I know that 30 plus 70 is going to give me $1. So that gets me to $8. Now we check the two things that we added, which is 1 penny and 70 cents, and that's 71 cents. So again, my change here is 71 cents using the counting up method. Now, if you'd like, you can try using the subtraction method if you want to try that one. So push pause now. Okay, let's try it. $8 minus $7.29 because subtracting will always give us the difference. Since we don't have any pennies and we don't have any dimes, we need to trade one of the dollars. So we take one of those away and now we have 7. And for that $1, we can trade it for 10 dimes. Now I want to take away one of those dimes and trade it for 10 pennies because a dime is worth 10 pennies. Now I have 10 minus 9 equals 1 penny, and 9 minus 2 equals 7 dimes, and $7 minus $7 is $0. So my change here again is 71 cents. Now you try one on your own, and you write it down on your WSQ paper, and bring it back to school tomorrow, and we'll check if you're right. You can choose one of the 3 methods to solve it. You don't have to use all 3. So choose which method you like the best. It says you purchased a chocolate milk for $1.53. You give the cashier $5. How much change do you get back?